Hello, everybody, and welcome to the studio of the Yard Sale Artist. I am Jarrod Alberich, the Yard Sale Artist. Welcome back to my studio. Today, we're going to be doing another book page sketch. This time, I'm going to be doing the Disney version of Robin Hood. You know, the Fox version. I love that cartoon, by the way. On a page from this discarded couple page missing Adventures of Robin Hood book that I picked. That's one of my more recent pickups. So I was excited about that. I was like, oh, Robin Hood would be fun to draw. And, well, I just love the Disney one. So welcome. I see a couple people stopping by and peeking in. Hi there. Be sure to sound off in the chat. Tell me how you guys are doing today. I hope everybody's having a wonderful Friday. I will get to work on this here Robin Hood piece. And I mean, we can certainly chat today about everyone's favorite versions of Robin Hood. So many cool versions of Robin Hood out there to see. I'd definitely be interested in hearing about yours. So feel free to sound off in the chat on that. Or just tell me how you're doing today. And I'll sit here and draw Robin Hood Disney version for you. Right now I'm using a number 5 Pigma Micron pen. Puts down a nice solid line. I'll probably go back and thicken some of the lines up a little later. But this one really puts down a real nice first layer, if you will. There we go. It's a beautiful day here in southern Alabama. We've got some wonderful spring weather. The only downside is it really gets my allergies going. I don't ever have allergies except for about 2 months in the year when we have spring down here in Alabama. Hey, I see some folks have popped in to take a look and see what's going on. Welcome. Welcome to the Yard Sale Artist Studio. Hope you guys are having a great day. Feel free to ask any questions in the chat or just say hey. The question I'm posing today is, what's your favorite version of Robin Hood? So many good ones out there. I'd be interested to hear what people like. As usual, we're listening to the smooth sounds of Joe November in the background. My good friend from my military days and an excellent music producer. I always recommend you check out his SoundCloud, which is JOSEFLIN 99. Or if you just look up Joe November on SoundCloud, you'll probably find him. I just looked at my color lineup and realized there was a color missing that I wanted to use, so I just added that. So there's my color lineups. I think I've got them all selected for today, all the ones that I want. Okay, what's going to help me out a little bit is these right here too. I got my little reader glasses that help me zoom a little bit as I'm drawing. There we go. There we go. I see Genome is in the chat. Hello. And I see my sister, Jamie Reed, is in the chat, commenting on the groovy background music by musical genius Joe November. Welcome, welcome. Oh, yeah, I guess it is. Well, it's almost good afternoon here. I'm 5 minutes away from afternoon, but Genome is squarely in the afternoon. Good to see you, buddy. Genome, do you have a favorite version of Robin Hood? That's the question I'm posing for the people who stopping by to chat today. What's your favorite version of Robin Hood? And Genome responds with the Patrick Stewart version in the Star Trek Next Generation episode. I like it. I like it. The one thing I'll always remember about that episode is Worf smashing that loot. I think it was a loot, and declaring that he was not a merry man. Awesome stuff from that episode. We're starting to make it look a little bit like who it's supposed to look like. Always a good start. I'm going to go ahead and put the string from the bow. Get that done. There we go. Now I should have no more use for the ruler. Oh, I lied. Forgot about the arrow itself. Ruler time. There we go. Now I'm done with the ruler. Genome says Costner could have been good, but Rickman blew him away so badly it became an exercise in futility. Well, I like that. I think we all like that Robin Hood Prince of Thieves movie overall. I've never met anybody who doesn't like it. But a lot of it does have to do with the Rickman performance and Morgan Freeman. And, well, I mean, everybody in that movie was good, though. Everybody was good. But Rickman was definitely stealing the show on that one. You're right. I was super smart. I would have gone to the French curves to draw this bow, but I went freehand and it actually didn't go too badly, so I'm not too upset about that. Now, I said that. I should have waited until I finished the bottom of the bow to say that. Now watch everything go terribly wrong as I get to the bottom part of the bow. But we'll do the hands first. Okay. Probably cursed myself. Here we go. There we go. All right. Came out okay. It's probably the most dangerous line in the whole thing is to get those little arcs. And they don't have to be perfect because, you know, he's cartoony and he made this bow and arrow out of sticks in the woods, but it came out pretty good. Genome says, who's your favorite? I assume we're talking Robin Hoods here. Are you saving that for sweeps? No, man, that's tough for me. There's a lot of Robin Hoods I like. I mean, you got to love Sean Connery as Robin Hood. I actually do enjoy Kevin Costner. I love Carrie Elwes, however he pronounces it, in the comedic Men in Tights has always amused me. I love the Disney Robin Hood a lot. I just watched one of the more recent ones with the guy from Kingsman, where they kind of put a little bit of a modernish twist on it, and that I found it to be very enjoyable, which was odd because apparently it got panned by critics, but I really liked it. So, geez, if I was forced to pick a favorite Robin Hood, and then of course there's the classic ones from like the 1950, I want to say 5 TV series. Goodness, Errol Flynn. Gosh, I should have never asked this question. I'm killing myself over here. Favorite Robin Hood. And then there was the one with Russell Crowe. Oh man. I think at the end of the day, I'm going to say my favorite Robin Hood might be the one I'm drawing right here, the Disney one, the Fox. I just always loved this cartoon. I loved it growing up. I love it as an adult. I'm gonna go with the Fox. So many good ones though, man. That's a tough question. Max Traver checks in to say Men in Tights, and yeah, I mentioned that one. That one is hilarious. I love oh my gosh. Of course his name would fall out of my head now. Oh, who played the main villain? Richard. Is it Richard or something? The comedian. It's going to drive me nuts. Save me, Max. Save me. Who played the main villain in Men in Tights? He cracks me up every time. When all those knights come in to protect him, and he's like, the noise, I hope it's worth the noise. Oh, if only I can remember. My brain keeps wanting to say Richard Jenny, but I know it's not him. It's Richard Lewis. I think that's right, Genome. I think Genome saved my sanity. I think it is Richard Lewis. Very good. Ooh, the lolly. I am going to, at this very moment, I'm going to risk. I'm going to risk it. I'm going to gamble on a YouTube strike, and I'm just going to go. I love that little bit for this cartoon.
Of Hyrule rests with you. Open your eyes. Wake up, Link.
I would have to agree with you. The soundtrack to this Robin Hood movie on Disney is just awesome. That's what Max Traver was saying in the on the YouTube chat comments. I agree. Just so good. Oh, the storybook record. Max and I think I had that as a kid too, Max. The Disney storybook record. Oh, you're bringing back so many memories, buddy. But yeah, so good. So freaking good. I see we've picked up a couple likes and a few watchers, whether you're on Facebook or you're watching it on Twitter via the Periscope, or if you're on YouTube. I really appreciate it. If you find a couple minutes, if you wouldn't mind going to YouTube and giving me a subscription to the channel, I'd appreciate it. I've only been doing it a few weeks and it's been growing steadily, and I think that's wonderful. So if you could find it in your heart to help keep it growing, I'd really appreciate that. I think I'm up to like 86 or 87 subscribers now. I'll probably be doing a fun giveaway. No, I will be doing a fun giveaway once I hit 100. So there's lots of cool stuff to come, and I appreciate you guys being a part of it. All right, I got all the baseline work down now. Now it's a matter of thickening lines and coloring. So I'm going to stick with the, well, actually, no. I'm going to switch from the 5 micron to the 8 micron. What up, Patrick, in the chat, watching over on Periscope. How's it going, dude? Thanks for stopping and saying hey via the Twitter tweets. And, oh, thanks. I'm just catching up on some chat. Thank you, Max. I'll put that on the big board. The storybook record, awesome. And then Max had a very good comment. These book page commissions are so cool. I really appreciate that, Max. I really do. Oh, yeah, those records, though, man. Those storybook records are so cool. Oh, a little free advertising from Max. He saw the Andre the Giant from the Princess Bride one I did the other day. Thinking about getting one. Well, my list is open. These have gotten very popular, I'm happy to say. I've got a pretty lengthy list of commissions going. So if you want to get on it sooner rather than later, is probably best for you because it's long. But I can say this. I do a minimum of one a day. So I moved through my list pretty well. And I think I counted them up today. I think I've got about 35 in the queue right now. So if you get on the list now, it'll take building in a buffer 45, 60 days to get one. So I appreciate the thoughts, though. And Patrick, if you haven't already made your way over to YouTube to give this here channel a subscription, I'd appreciate it if you did, buddy. You don't have to by any means, but it would help me out. And as you'll find, if you hang out here more, we have a really, really great chat community. Some of the regulars haven't checked in yet, but I'm betting some of them do before this is over. We've got great people who are really friendly to each other. That's my favorite thing about this, man. Just great community that we're building here in the Yard Sale Artist Studios. And right now I'm just thickening some lines to give separation. Like when the hand is in front of the face, I definitely want to give a little bit of extra thickness around the hand because there's a lot going on here. There's hand, face, and arrow. And so for some of the key delineations that you want them to stand out so they don't all blend together, a thicker line is always welcome. Oh, thanks for the shout out. Genome got a Major Bludd G.I. Joe piece that I did on a page from an Army infantry manual. I do a lot of Joes on the Army infantry manual page, and it's one of the more larger scale ones. They're a little more expensive. The standard small paperback page, like you saw with the Princess Bride, I do those for $22. This one right here is a mid-size. The mid-size ones go $25, and then the bigger ones are $27. He got a bigger one, but man, I'm glad you liked it. I was happy with that Major Bludd as well. And thank you, Patrick, for going and hooking me up with that subscription. I appreciate it, buddy. Yeah, once I hit 100, I'm going to do a special episode and invite anybody who can. I'll advertise it pretty well for a couple days, and I'll invite anybody who can make it. And I'm probably going to give away some. I got a big book of prints. I've been doing prints for years now, and I've got a lot of ones, a lot to choose from. and I'm probably just going to give away a bunch of them. Deep down in my heart, I'd like to give away original piece. But I just have this feeling, it all depends on the timing, but I have this feeling that I'm going to hit 100 while I'm still in the midst of this really long commissions list. And I'm just the kind of guy that feels like I gotta take care of my commission folks before I do anything else. So right now, the only real cheat that I do is on the commissions list is on Tuesday night live stream that I do with Bermuda Mark. That's every Tuesday here on YouTube at 5 p.m. Central Time. Sometimes I'll draw something on that show that's not a commission, although the last couple shows have been. That's my little cheat. Or every once in a while, a book page sketch. If I'm well ahead on my book page sketch schedule, if I'm exceeding one a day, I will do one of these. Like this right here. This Robin Hood is not a commission. This is one I've just been wanting to do. And I got far enough ahead on my commissions list to allow me to do it. So that's a long-winded way of saying I really, really, really try to focus on my commissions list before I branch out and do anything else original. I'm certain that my commission clients are happy about that. I like to get their products to them as quickly as I can. You're listening to some sweet, sweet dad rap in the background. That's me on the lyrics. Joe T on the beat. Joe November. I'm sorry. He'll always be Joe T to me, but to the adoring public, he is Joe November. All right. Some of that line thickening really worked well for me. I'm happy about it. Okay. Now, next up was going to be color, but I have to remember, let's get rid of some of those errant sketch lines from when I originally sketched it out and laid it out. Sketching it out and laying it out is important in book page sketches because you got to get in the right spot. You can cheat a little bit on a regular piece of paper, but a book page sketch will give you away in a heartbeat if it's not well balanced because it kind of almost lays out a grid line already. So I try to keep this as balanced as possible. You see just the bottom of his feet come out past the words in the bottom, and just the top of his bow come out across the words in the top. And that's all by design. Just a peek behind the curtain, what I usually do is I find the design that I like. I find a model picture that I like, a scene from the movie or whatever. I print that out. I sit there and I find out what the basic elements of it are. What can I keep and what can I drop? On an animated one, you keep pretty much everything. But if I'm doing an actual photo reference, what can I keep? What can I drop? So I can have the simplest image for a book page sketch. I sit there and I find all those little pieces. I put it all together in a separate drawing that I scan in. And then once I have it scanned in, I can play with the size. So I get it to the size I like as it matches on the paper, print it out, put it on a light box, and then basically just trace my own work onto the paper. That's a complicated process, I know, but when you have a finite amount of pages, every page counts. I can't spend pages testing sizes and stuff, or else, pages in this book eventually. So hopefully that made sense and gave you all some insight. If not, then just incoherent ramblings from the art sale artist. I see legendary comic book creator John Beatty has entered the chat. Commenting on what we were just saying. He said, you need to give subscribers a chance at art. And I'm going to, but not if my commissions list is as long as it is currently. I'm not going to put commissions people on the back burner for giveaways. Just can't do it. I will give away, but I'll probably be from my Prince book and my Prince collection. Then later on, when things get caught up, maybe we hit 150 or 200 subs. Then I'll, especially if I'm caught up, yeah, definitely do a original piece giveaway. But that's how the art sale artist pegs out his priorities. Now John asks another question. He loves to try to poke holes in what I do, but I have answers for everything. A 300-page book, I'm going to run out. Yes, I actually will run out. And then what most people don't realize is probably 30-40% of the pages actually you can't use because there's chapter breaks or images or page breaks that ruin the flow of the page and the piece. So actually in any given book, I can really only use, if I'm lucky, 70%. Unlucky, depending on the book, 50% of the pages. So it's a stricter margin than most people realize. But that's the way it is. I see your comment. I hear what you're saying, John, but it's just not my style. I got to handle the commission folks first. But I'll be giving away a good amount of prints, and I wouldn't be too hesitant to go see what I've got in my original art box as well. I do have some pieces that I could give away as well, but if I'm going to be drawn, I'm going to be drawn for clients that are already on the list and waiting for stuff. You can send me as many books as you want. I'm always down for books. And then Ron shows up. I believe he and John are coordinated. Ron shows up. I can't believe you're ruining all these perfectly good books. Which is, I get that a lot, and he's making a joke. I know, as you guys know, I don't use good books. I use busted books. A lot of times they'll have this black X on them because that's from the library discard. This one was like missing a whole chapter. It's chapter 9. It was just missing out of the book. The spine binding, you can see right there where it's split and coming apart. So they're getting rid of that one. All right, let's get to coloring this cat. We'll go with his hat. His hat is actually a different shade of green than the rest of his outfit. It's a little bit lighter, so I'm going to be using the apple green to color the hat. Go. I do need to do like a show where I put out a few of the original pieces I have laying around in my box for sale. I normally save those. I let them build up so I can put them on the tables at cons. But since there's no cons lately, it's not a bad idea, Ron. Ron was suggesting I put some of my original pieces out that are for sale. I may do that coming up since there's so many cons. You know what? I'll probably let Heroes Con be the deciding point on that because we're still kind of waiting to see how that one's going to play out. And if Heroes Con ends up being a go, then I'll just bring my stuff to that. And if not, if that pushes the con season and later perhaps into the fall, yeah, that's probably when I would just go ahead and do like a little show on the live stream here. Good idea though, Ron. Appreciate it. I definitely hope it's still a go. John's out of here. See you later, John. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I really hope to see you guys in Charlotte for Heroes Con. Really hoping that this whole mess gets a little bit cleaned up, thinned out by then. The color that I'm currently using for the majority of the fur on Robin Hood is one of my favorites. It's called Tuscan Red, and it's really just it's very brownish, as you can see, but it's got that hint of red, so it's very like a rusty brown color. Perfect color for a fox, because foxes have that reddish brown look to them. So I was really looking forward to using Tuscan Red on this piece. The light gray, got a 20% cool gray for his basically his snout region. Okay, I'm going to go back to the Tuscan Red. Ron says in reference to Heroes Con in Charlotte, he really wants to eat at Mertz. And it's funny because like Mertz is this very favorite and famous place, is what I'm trying to say, in downtown Charlotte that a lot of people go to at Heroes Con. And I've been to Heroes Con twice now, and this will be my third year. I've never been to Mertz. I've been to Soul Food a lot. It's like I'm addicted to it, but they put a chemical in it that makes you crave it fortnightly. But yeah, I've never been to Mertz. I've heard nothing but good things, though. Definitely need to give it a go. Just haven't been by there, man. I haven't. Ron's getting very upset with me about this whole Mertz thing in the chat. I just haven't been by there. I'm sorry. Of course, you also have to remember that when I do Heroes Con, I stay with my long time, 20 plus years friend, best friend, Delvin the Dark Web Williams. I stay at his house. So it's not like we're staying downtown, Delvin lives about, a half hour outside of town. So I imagine if I was staying downtown, I definitely would have had it by now, but we're really only there for, we're there for the day, and then we usually grab a dinner and then head back. And actually not always grab a dinner. Sometimes we just have dinner once we get back to his house. So it's kind of a different environment when you're not staying down there. That's my plea bargain to you, sir. I've also heard good things about the bakery outside the hotel there. You're not the first person to mention that. I think our friend Dave Collins is a big fan of the bakery downtown. I think it's a French, but yeah, you mentioned a French bakery. I think that's what it is. Yeah. Of course, you know me. As a type 2 diabetic, I gotta avoid those carbs, man. When I decide to kill myself, you'll know it because I'm gonna step into that French bakery and go to town. Be a little suicide note in my pocket. I regret nothing. Genome says the other people who love Tuscan Red are the Tuscan Raiders. Oh, little Star Wars nerd humor for your day, everyone. So anybody, Ron, I know you've come into the chat a little later, and a couple other people have popped in a little later. The original question we had kicking off today's stream for people to weigh in on, just your opinions. What's your favorite version of Robin Hood? Who did your favorite version? Do you like the Disney Fox, or are you Connery or Errol Flynn or Kevin Costner, Russell Crowe, the dude from Kingsman whose name I can't remember right now? All right, I believe we got all the fur covered. See a line I got to smooth out. There we go. There we go. And Ronald Went chimes in saying he's a Costner Cat. Oh, he's telling me that the bakery has low carb options in there. That's interesting to note. Thanks for the tip, my friend. I'm going to be using the darker green, like I said earlier, for his clothing. I'm going to use what's called grass green. As you can see by comparison, it's darker than the apple. I think I used apple green before. So it's basically just a shade off of off the other. I'll be honest with you guys. I was a little worried with how the two greens were going to work together, because I test them, like I said, obviously on scrap paper, but book pages can do weird things to the color sometimes. So I'm really glad this one worked. And like I was telling you guys earlier, there's actually, you see a big book and you think, oh, Jarrod's going to get 300 pages out of that. I'll probably end up getting 150 pages out of it, or 200 if I'm lucky. Plus, I forgot to mention this earlier about why it's also why I get fewer pages out of it. My OCD. I have to make sure, unless specifically requested by a client, I've broken this rule a few times just because the client requested me to break it. I have to make sure that the character that I'm drawing is mentioned on the page. So there are also pages in here that I won't ever use just because it doesn't have a character that I'm drawing on it. Like, not every page obviously mentions Robin Hood, but there'll be some to where, like, I guess I could do Little John or Prince John, or the sheriff, things like that. But some pages are they're not going to have any character on it that you can really use, so I'll lose those as well. All the tiny intricacies of being a yard sale artist and sketching on busted book pages. All the little things that no one thinks about till you start down this road. So basically, I'm the only person who's discovered these things. But hey, I'll share them with you guys. So anyway, I said all that to say, I don't even, if I was smart, I'd start looking for some of those pages that don't have any really characters on it that I could draw, and then use those as color test pages. Because like I said, I test the colors on regular paper, but sometimes when they hit the book page paper, they come off of the different hue, because these are a little bit yellowed, some more than others. It's a stressful game I play, people. Oh, goodness. The dark brown I want to use on his belt. And there again, I picked not only is his belt a darker brown actually in the cartoon, but it's a good idea to go with that too, because it'll make it stand out a little bit more from the fur, you can clearly tell that that's two different shades of brown. I'm going to use the crimson. The feather on the arrow is going to match the feather in his cap, the crimson red. And then a medium brown. There it is. Actually, when it's called sienna brown. For the, whoops, I don't want the thick tip. I want the thin tip. There we go. For the arrow itself and the bow. Gotta be real careful. Just barely brush the tip down this little channel. There we go. And the bow. There we go. Almost got this one, folks. Now I just got a pair of green shoes and gray tip of the arrow. And I've just about got it. And there we have it. Now, bring him up a little closer to the camera for you. The Disney version. I'm going to get just a little bit playful here with a really dark green and just add a little shading to the shirt. I'll give it just a nice little accent. Not too much, not get carried away with it. Just a nice little accent. Same on the shoes, just kind of like a dark shade at the base of the shoe. And then for that little inside piece, a little bit on the cap. Just on the inside parts. Not too much. Not get carried away with it. And then this brown. Again, just sort of on the underside of his arm. And this is kind of me adding my own flavor to it. Giving it just a little bit of more depth. There, again, not carried away, just a little shade where his hat comes down, just a little bit, just to give it a little zippy zip. There we go. Yeah. And we've got it. We've got it. Maxwell Travers said it was nicely timed fanfare. Yeah, that song by Joe November was pretty good. So, again, this is one of the very rare pieces because I've gotten far enough ahead on my commissions that this one was just for fun. So to your point, Ron, earlier, this one is available for purchase. If you need a piece of original yard sale art in your collection, this one's just $25. That includes shipping if you live in the United States. Free shipping for those in the US. And we can make that happen. Otherwise, I'll happily put it in my little box that will either show up at my next convention appearance, or if there's not one of those for a while, I may break out the pieces from the box and do a live stream just to show everybody what's available if they want to pick something up. So tell your friends and family, and of course, I'll advertise this in a few weeks or a few days on social media. I appreciate you guys being here. Once again, if you haven't already, headed over to my YouTube page where this is also currently streaming, and give that a subscription. I'd really appreciate it. Looking forward to doing a 100 subscribers giveaway. And thanks for your time. You've been listening to the tunes of Joe November in the background. Check out his SoundCloud, JOSEFLIN99. And I will catch you guys next time. Bye.